Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very, very wonderful, great day and a very much of a blessed, great morning and a very wonderful morning indeed, guys. As you can see, guys, today is extremely quietly hot today as this weather is literally on and off as well. And also to actually tell you one more thing, guys, the gardening people are here today. So you might actually be receiving a lot more loud noises in the background as well, just to keep you informed as well. And Universe is quietly in the house with me as well. She's quietly in the house with me. She's actually quietly in the house with me. So she's my dog, my little cutie dog that I actually previously showed you on the previous live, and she's quietly currently in the house with me as well. But nevertheless, guys, I'll still continue doing the episode as well with you guys, and I'll continue talking about more, talking more about the new powerful villains, foes, clans, supernatural nations, and sacred countries, and superheroes, and powerful old and new foes and heroes and adversaries as well as we continue this journey on with me. As I'm telling you guys, there is lot, thousands of more that are about to come. Literally thousands of more. But despite that, guys, I'm so completely, totally grateful for your support in remaining with me through this journey. It completely means a lot to me. And your support literally means a lot to me. From Shorts, YouTube, TikTok, and from those who are subscribing as well, it completely means totally a lot to me. It means the entire universe to me as well. So may God bless you and may He protect you and may He stay with you in everything else that you're also doing, guys. And I'm also, excuse me, and I'm also as well rooting for you guys as well in whatever it is that you guys are doing as well. May you stay happy and stay true and stay very much positive and very much committed in whatever it is that you're doing and whatever it is that you're also are pursuing as well. May God bless you and may God be with you in everything that you're doing. And have a blessful week as well. On today's episode, we're to speak about the ancient force of evil known as the Monster Queen, who is the sole ruler of the dark dimension, who has been controlling and influencing the monsters of the dark dimension for the past few ancient centuries, and for the past few ancient centuries, and especially during the sacred warring states of the warring states of the sacred warring states of the civil wars and of the dark magical wars as well. She is the leader and queen of the dark monsters of the dark monsters and of the other monsters of the dark dimension, and she rules them and leads them with great authority and with great influence, and with great power and with great capacity as well. She's a very devious and very powerful, evil, sadistic, dark, formidable ancient witch, and a very powerful dark queen who is rumored to be known to be as an ancient monster queen who leads the monsters of the dark dimension with great authority, and she commands them and influences them with great authority and with greatness, with sheer force of will as well. And she's very ruthless and totally devious with her plans, and she has dark desire. She has a dark desire and a darker plan to conquer the entire sacred countries and capitalize and to conquer the entire sacred countries and placing them under her sole control by using an army of monsters to laying waste to the entire sacred clans, villages, worlds, planets, magical schools, colleges, and all of that in order to wipe out her true common foe and enemy, which are the Four Nation Hunters in the process. And she's willing to do whatever it takes to win the war in the process so she can conquer and control the sacred world and the sacred universe and the sacred countries for her kind and for her people as well. So let's actually begin. In the Monster Queen's early life, during the past few ancient times in the sacred magic universe's ancient times, she was once quietly revered as a beautiful, attractive, very beautiful, attractive fairy that was quietly born with great few power, that was quietly granted with a great few power of light magic, with a great few power of light magic in order to turning, granting her body the power and the great ability to becoming light itself with crystal magic, with crystal light magic and its greater power and its greater invisibility power, in its greater power and its greater invisibility power, and also granted by her to destroy any monster and any being at any rate. During which in those times she was very, very quietly a determined fairy who was very quietly optimistic with her mission and with the researching more about dark magic, up to researching more about dark magic's origins, about its past, its histories, and also where it literally came from and how can she acquire the power to defeat the enemy. During which on those times she acquired very few disciples and very very few followers in her mission in order to continue her sinister mission as well, which attracted some other fellow devious shadowy associates as well in the long term of the mission as well. During which in those times she was able to also to attract the wrong crowd of evil fairies as well to her mission, and she was able to beginning her mission in a quest to acquiring more power and to unlocking the secrets and to also unlocking the secrets of dark magic and of shadow energy and of wild energy as well in the process. On those times within the magic school, within the magic school of witches and fairies and warlocks, there was an ancient golden room that housed powerful, beautiful golden crystal magical statues of monsters, of ancient monsters and creatures, of goblins and powerful creatures and monsters that quietly were present during the sacred civil wars that attacked the Phoenician hunters as well. And she entered that room all by herself, and she discovered magnificent, powerful, dark, wild energy of power, which she called it wild energy. And also she witnessed shadow energy and dark magical orbs and powers, and also a water, and also a waterfall, and also a water, and also an endless oasis of a and also an endless oasis of a waterfall that was quietly covered with trees, and many crystals and all of that. And wild energy was also part of the entire rooms and was also part of the entire rooms area, where she was very quietly surprised and shook out of her mind that so much power and energy will be quietly be kept inside of an ancient room. Now she understand why. Now she completely understood why the headmistress and the headmasters of the warlocks, witches, and fairies were so very determined to keep fairies and warlocks and witches and wizards and fairies out of this room, because they understood the consequences of trying to harness this much dark energy and power. Regardless of that, she didn't exactly mysteriously heed to her warnings. She mysteriously exactly went ahead and infused herself with the wild energy and with the shadow energy and all of its powers and all of its hidden powers and ability, which granted her long gravity and mysteriously powerful, extreme, immortal powers and greater powers at will, which also granted her the powers of creating shadow mythical angelic of creating shadow mythical angelic monstrous wings that appeared from the back of her very very back as well. And her hands began exactly creating and her hands and her nails began exactly crafting deadly dangerous claws of her very power as well. And her eyes began to change as well in a very, very prosthetic image, as she was able to acquire infinite dark power and greater energy than ever before as well. As the wizards exactly stormed the room, they were very shocked to discover one of their own very brightest and beautiful, cunning and very resourceful, was able to acquire unlimited tapped wild energy, and they were able to literally infuse themselves with it. After that, she demonstrated her full power and her capacity to her former comrades and to her former classmates, demonstrating, showing them that she has grown too powerful. After that, she disappeared. She teleported herself away and completely disappeared in a very strange Pacific sonar way, where she was able to craft a very deadly black smoke, which was able to cast a deadly black smoke in order to teleport herself completely away. The wizards and all the other warlocks and all the other fairies were well aware that she's about to pose a greater threat to the entire sacred magic universe's existence and to the rest of sacred existence, worlds, countries, civilizations, and to the Phoenician hunters, meaning that it's best that they find a way to neutralize her and also to stop her before she can become a very dangerous major threat and create a catastrophic event that can never be erased as well. During which on those ancient times, the Monster Queen exactly discovered a hidden ancient dark crystal cave where she was able to begin crafting her plan, where she created a powerful dark holographic holograms of worlds, planets, and civilization for her to begin her true mission and her goal. But she also discovered that the dark dimension also obtained and acquired so much immense power of dark, unlimited dark energy and of dark magic at its fullest potential. And she decided that it was her best way to order to tap into that energy in order for her to tap into that power and into the energy so she can so she can actually access it for herself, so she can exactly control the monsters and the creatures of that dimension and use them as weapons and as soldiers to fight the Phoenician hunters and to wipe them out completely in the actual process as well. On that very ancient time, and that century of that crystal cave, the wizards and warlocks and fairies banded together and they confronted their greatest foe, who was one of their own, and they felt very, very terribly sad that they had to trap her and banish her away to the dark dimension, realizing that she was going to create a catastrophic event that can never be stopped or ever be erased, and they had to completely banish her straightly to the ends of the dark dimension. And is exactly what they did. They battled the forces of good and evil, battled within the middle center of the crystal dark caves, where they fought against the evil dark fairy who has become a very powerful dark angelic monster queen, and they fought up against her, during which on the very last moment of their very strength, they decided to use their forbidden magical powers and technique to trap her and also to trick her and also to banish her to the dark dimension, which is what they exactly did. They managed to banish her and literally send her away into the dark dimension permanently, and this time for good as well. On which they were able to discover her scrolls, her books, her ancient knowledge, and her texts of what she was researching and what she was actually planning to do with that much infinite knowledge. And they decided to erase it all and to destroy it all, and to destroy the underground crystal laboratory that contains the forbidden knowledge and all of its secrets and it context as well in the process, in order to make sure that no one or anyone can ever find this forbidden knowledge, and the rest of it will be kept to herself. As they all agreed on that very, very day that whatever happened on this day must not ever be spoken of. The Phoenician hunter elders agreed that they will never speak of what happened on this very day, especially that one of their very own turned into a very powerful, mysterious force of greater good, that turned into a very powerful, mysterious force of greater evil, and that they will never mention it in the sacred magic history books or any throughout sacred history or in any Phoenician hunter history, that they'll keep it off the books and off the history books, that it will never be mentioned, as they all agreed to that as well. They all agreed that they'll take something from her ancient research in order to keep it to in order for them to keep it to themselves, in order for them to keep it to ourselves, in order for them to actually keep it to themselves, so that they can actually keep the knowledge intact and also keep it quietly trapped, and the forbidden dark sequence and the greater dark techniques she was able to discover will be kept towards themselves as well, and towards their secretive allies as well, which is what they all agreed. After that, they all parted ways and continued their lives fighting a war against the monsters of the dark dimension. Unbeknownst to them, the Monster Queen was able to be very, very, very quietly satisfied that she was able to make the dark dimension her home world and her home universe and her home land, and she decided to exactly tap into its power and into its energy when she was able to precisely to hack into its power and energy source, in during which in that time she became very powerful as she sat on the throne of the and she sat at the throne of the kingdom, and she sat at the throne of the dark castle where the monsters were all exactly waiting for her. As after that the monsters completely bowed down to her as she exactly told her new soldiers and her new warriors that she's about to bring greater change and greater wisdom, and that she was willing to help them win the war against the Phoenician hunters and against her own very people, as well as the monsters of the dark dimension seemed very happy. Throughout the following centuries, the Monster Queen has kept her existence and the rest of her existence literally top secretive, as she was able to help the monsters of the dark dimension adapt, evolve, and with the power of camouflage and the power of teleportation, the power of shapeshifting, and the power of opening portals, she was able to help them adapt and also granting them greater immunities and powers and abilities of their own, so that they can also increasingly adapt and evolve against the war and against the war that they're fighting up against the Phoenician hunters and up against their very people. In doing so, she kept her involvement and her existence still as secretive, as she was able to work from the shadows of the dark dimension in order to make sure that the monsters of the dark dimension continued their sole attack and their sole mission to lay waste to humanity and the rest of the sacred universe and the rest of the sacred universe and the rest of the sacred dimension, while she patiently waited for the right time to reveal herself as well. In the following modern years, the Monster Queen was able to actually receive contact by powerful, mysterious, shadowy, holographic figures who exactly able to enter her dark dimension in a different holographic figures and presented themselves and told her that they are her mysterious ally, and it would be very kindly good for them to have her by her side. The Monster Queen exactly told the mysterious shadowy holographic figure that she would kindly gladly accept the offer and the presentation to join forces with these mysterious associates, as long as it will benefit her and her army. The shadowy holographic figures exactly told her that it will also benefit them gratefully with the army that she's controlling under her control, and that they were able to use it and utilize it to their advantage as well, to wipe out the sacred countries and to controlling the narrative of the war and of humanity from the very behind the scenes of the shadows of the sacred world as well, and of the sacred universe as well, from the very behind the scenes of it. To this point, the Monster Queen agreed to join forces with these mysterious associates, and she exactly reassured them that she's hereby a partner and also an associate and also an associate and also an associate and also an associate and a member of these mysterious holographic figures as well, that she's willing to join forces and sizes with them, and she's willing to aid them and abet them on a long-term goal and mission as well. After that, the holographic figure exactly told her that the next time they exactly begin to convene and meet, that she must create a dark hologram of herself to conceal her identity and herself in order for her to actually present herself to the other members. She completely agreed with the mysterious holographic figure, and she exactly agreed to the terms, and that is exactly what she's willing to do as well. During the course of sacred history, the Monster Queen remained anonymous as she created portals, gateways for the monsters of the dark dimension to continue the relentless attacks and the assault on many worlds, planets, and civilization, as she waited patiently for the right opportunity to actually present itself and also for it to actually present itself, and as well for itself, for the opportunity to present itself, and also for her to seize more power and control over many thousands pocket dimensions and many worlds and many civilizations as well. During which her time in a dark dimension she was able to also gather the attention of the powerful evil Phoenician hunter known as Valak Fire and Zacchaeus Darkest, and also as well as the ancient legendary black powerful dark magic user known as a King of Darkness, which she was also able to assist and help with these long-term plans and goal as well in the process. Due to this, she assisted and helped Valak Hellfire with these long-term plans and goal, and also granted Zacchaeus Docket the forbidden knowledge, the greater forbidden knowledge and text and knowledge on how to win the sacred war and all other wars in the event, which she was also able to gather the greater. She was also able to attract the attention of the sinister, shadowy elite criminal organization known as Sinister Magic that Lord Boy was quietly leading, and she decided to join forces with them and also to helping them and abetting them on a long-term plan and goal as well. On the actual 28th, on the 28th of March, the Monster Queen exactly remained in the dark dimension, in the dark dimension, in the actual dark dimension for quite some time, as she continued to exactly focusing her power and energy to tapping into the dark energy of the dark dimension, where she endlessly exactly began to discover that her power are completely growing and also relentlessly growing as well. On the 15th of April, the Monster Queen exactly was able to reconvene with the other shadowy, mysterious holographic holograms on an ancient, powerful, dark cave that was quietly hidden and protected by powerful dark energy of dark magic, where they all exactly appeared in a dark holographic in a dark shadowy holographic holograms to conceal their identities from one another, as they all were exactly present and discussed a way to further their plans and their goal, as they all agreed to what is at stake and what exactly can never be underestimated due to the universal hero's interference and to the death of the original long everlasting comrade and greater friend known as the original Lord of Magic, which they all agreed that the death of the original Lord of Magic was exactly a sad thing that can never exactly be taken back, but through his death they were able to learn that the universal heroes are becoming powerful and that they can never be underestimated as well, as the members agreed to that as well. On the actual 25th of May, the Monster Queen exactly began experimenting with the monsters of the dark dimension, as she was able to exactly help them to adapt and grow to various different forms, to various different reptilian forms of creatures, as some of them began to adapt and grow mercilessly, while the others of them began to adapt and grow mercilessly, and the others of them began to mysteriously being granted supernatural immunities of powers and abilities as well through the long-term powers, and also they granted up a gift as well. Due to that, the Monster Queen was very happy and very successfully pleased with the development of her scientific project, of her experiment that she was able to actually conjure. On the 25th of June, the Monster Queen was able to exactly meet in a very purplish holographic hologram with the evil three fairies, where they were all able to exactly to reconvene in a very powerful dark crystal magical chamber, which is quietly hidden beneath an underground cave, where they're all exactly able to reconvene and meet to discuss their terms and their plans and their long-term plans and goals, as the three evil fairies warned the ancient Monster Queen that the universal heroes and the Four Nation Hunters are becoming well aware that your existence and your involvement might be exposed one way or another. The Monster Queen exactly reassured her associate that even if they know exactly that she's quietly still actively alive or anything else actively alive, they won't be able to tell the rest of Sacred Existence that the existence of the Monster Queen is still actively alive, and due to this, she's able to use it to advantage in order to further her long-term plans and her goals as well in the process as well, where she began to reassure her associate, as one of her associates exactly told her to never underestimate Universal Magic Girl. She's too powerful and too dangerous, and Ivy Fairy's Fire is proven to be a very powerful Four Nation Hunter who has never been seen or never heard of, and it will be quietly unwise to never to underestimate their abilities and their compassion and their powers in them working together as a team of superheroes will be a deadly, terrifying mistake. as the members, as the associates began exactly telling the Monster Queen that, and she completely agreed with as she completely agreed to their worries and to the reassurance as well that it will never happen. On the on the actual on the actual on the actual 28th of August, on the actual 28th of August, the Monster Queen exactly made up. The Monster Queen exactly began conjuring her sinister experiments again, and this time she was quietly in a very powerful, elaborate dark cave. That was, excuse me, it was quietly present in an elaborate dark cave within the dark dimension, within the dark dimensions far fringes reach, where she was able to literally conduct serious dark magical projects and experiments in harnessing the power of the dark magical orbs, where she focused her power and energy to creating a powerful frequency of energy, where she was able to tap into it that can literally create a rift between universes and dimensions from other pocket dimensions into other world, where she was able to exactly dispatch a group of shadowy monsters to intercept to the other side to go gather some rare magical materials and substance for her crucial plan as well. On the actual 25th of November, Lord Braggley exactly visited the dark dimension in order to actually speak with the Monster Queen, and the Monster Queen exactly provided him with all the services, with all the greater services and knowledges and skill sets and secrets and techniques that he quietly was after, and also exactly warned Lord Braggley of the danger that he is exactly putting himself in. Lord Braggley, who is the new Lord of Magic and a founding member of an ancient, shadowy, criminal elite organization known as the Order of Death, which is quietly founded by Lord Clay, who is the new Lord of Magic and a protege of Lord Jet, who is also the new Lord of Magic as well. Despite that, Lord Braggley exactly reassured the Monster Queen that all he wanted and desired was peace and knowledge and all of that. And if he can exactly help the forces of good and evil to find a way to stop each other from fighting against each other, to find a way to stopping, to actually find a way to allowing them to stopping to fight against each other, to find a common ground, he'll be very quietly satisfied and pleased. But due to this, he was very thankful for the Monster Queen by supplying him with the endless knowledge and greater techniques and all of that. After that, he told the Monster Queen that his association with her will be kept secret only to them. And the Monster Queen was very quietly relieved of that, as she promised him the same as well. After that, Lord Braggley opened up a portal to the dark dimension and literally entered the portal, and the portal quietly closed from within the room. On the actual 29 on the actual 29th of December, the Monster Queen was exactly as she entered the dark crystal magical as he entered the dark crystal magical chamber as she entered the dark crystal magical chamber of the greater dark crystal temple that is actually quietly scattered, that is quietly in the middle of the sacred villages, that is quietly on the actual fringes of the sacred villages, where she was able to meet up with the other sinister, powerful, deadly, dark witches ever known and unknown to the rest of sacred reality, to the rest of the sacred reality, and to the rest of the sacred countries, and especially to the universal heroes and to the Four Nation Hunters as well, where they all exactly convene. Due to them exactly convening and meeting, they all exactly told the Monster Queen that your legendary and ancient work has been an inspiration to their people and to their kind, and especially to their followers and to their greater disciples. Your forbidden techniques and knowledge and all of that has been literally been etched throughout their history, and due to that, they're very grateful to have met the great legendary Monster Queen. Regardless of that, the Monster Queen exactly reassured her associate that she was also very quietly grateful to have met her great long-time fans and her greater long-time fans and her associate. But the other sinister associates and other dangerous sinister criminals exactly told the Monster Queen that their partnership and they working together is what will make them formidable and also stronger as well. That they have greater influence and greater resources. And there was also another evil Four Nation Hunter, maybe about 3 or 4 Four Nation Hunters and other 2 Nation Hunters and 7 Nation Hunters and 6 and the greater six nation hunters of the six nation hunters as well were also quietly present through the meeting, as well as they told the Monster Queen that they share a different goal and a different objectivity. That what Valak Hellfire and Zacchaeus Darkest, the Fallen, Lord Destiny, and the other ancient forces of evil and the original Lord of Magic were trying to do was what had to actually happen, and they actually now started to see it from their own different perspective, and they can all share their great expertise and their talents and their abilities and their great expertise and their talents and their greater experience with their knowledges that they all have amongst each other. The Monster Queen was very quietly surprised and very quietly intrigued that she has found powerful, dangerous, and sinister, very, very sinister criminals and other powerful, deadly witches were quietly unknown. And she decided it's best to join forces with them right away as well. On the 25th of January, on the actual 25th of January, the Monster Queen exactly created a dark holographic hologram with the other mysterious shadowy associate as they all exactly reconvene on an ancient powerful cave, and this time they're all exactly standing at the hands of the statue in the dark holographic holograms in a different powerful giant monster statue's hand as they're all exactly standing in there speaking about what actually happened on the previous years and on the previous successful years, and also that the death of the original Lord of Magic has after all created a power vacuum within the Shadow Empire. The Monster Queen exactly remained silent as the other members began to express their concerns that the universal heroes are growing too powerful and growing too dangerous for them to actually underestimate. It would be wise not to ever underestimate them. The other members agreed that they'll soon exactly be clashing and fighting against the universal heroes one way or another, and the battle with them will exactly soon be an inevitable battle with all of the other members of the team, and especially with the members of the Universal Defending Heroes, the Universal Space Heroes, and the Universal Founders and the Universal Magic Heroes. They'll actually be frequently clashing with them, and the encounter with them will not just be the first; it'll be the encounter of many encounters. As the other members agreed that it's best that they actually find a way in order to dispatch their operatives and a group of powerful assassins and mercenaries to be used as greater backup in case things don't go the way they should. As the other members agreed, they all exactly came to agreement. The Monster Queen remained quiet in a dark holographic hologram and very silent as she listened to the other members' concerns, and she also heavily agreed that that is a wise strategy and a wise tactic called plan as well. On the actual 20th of February, the Monster Queen was actually able to return back to her. She was able to actually return back to her body after her dark shadowy holographic hologram disappeared from the other last meeting, and due to her exactly meditating, she was able to speak directly to her son and daughter, who was able to exactly enter her dimension as well, and the son, who was also very powerful Four-Nation Hunter, and the daughter, who was also very powerful, very powerful, beautiful, dark ancient witch, also was able to exactly speak to her mother face to face, and this time body to body, where they were able to speak about their plans and about their goal. The son was very, very much quietly concerned about exactly knowing about what happened to their father, but the Monster Queen exactly assured them that their father is still actively alive and very well alive. Due to this, the daughter was able to exactly express concerns to the Monster Queen that her monsters and the creatures of monsters are failing miserably with a plan and with a sole goal in trying to wipe out and annihilate the Four-Nation Hunters, which has managed to create unnecessary attention to your attacks and to your plan, which means, in other words, the Four-Nation Hunters are becoming well aware that there's someone else is pulling the strings behind the monster's attacks. The Monster Queen exactly was able to reassure her daughter's concerns that she has the situation under control and that her children are growing stronger and are highly adapting and evolving, and that she has powerful, sinister friends and greater powerful associates who are also working from behind the scenes and also from the shadows of the sacred world with the greatest powerful elite criminal resources and organizations that were able to use in order to keep the truth quietly hidden, which will be able to buy her enough time to make her appearance and to reintroduce herself in a different way that the rest of the sacred magic universe's history, that were able to keep her existence quietly secret to the rest of her kind, that they were able to actually keep the rest of her secret history to her existence quietly secretive, that they'll be able to keep her secret existence secretive will be a very bad mistake, because in other words, she's actually still currently alive, as the Monster Queen began to assure her children that her existence of her being alive is still actually being able to be alive as well, and that her being alive is quietly a claim that the monsters are growing stronger due to her power and her influence towards them as well. On the actual 20 on the actual 29 of March, the Monster Queen was able to reconvene with her mysterious shadowy figure of associate on a different cave, this time on a very different cave with powerful ancient statues of with many ancient statues of monsters and godlike monk statues were all surrounding the caves and all of that, and they all appeared in a dark holographic hologram, and the base of the and the base of the and the base and the base and location of the cave was quietly still unknown where they actually were meeting, but it was quietly a dark, mysterious cave, and the headquarters of it was quietly dark, and the statues were all quietly very old and very ancient, as they all exactly began to all convene in the dark, shadowy, holographic holograms. Due to them exactly convening, there were only about 4 members and the Monster Queen herself, and it was only about 4 members and the Monster Queen herself, which makes them only 5, and the other members were not exactly quietly completely present. Due to this, the remaining 4 began asking themselves what happened to the other members, as the leader began to tell the other members that the newest members are quietly busy doing what they have to do. They are well aware of the meeting, but they have to exactly keep the existence quietly secretive. In doing so, they should exactly focus on a common plan and also on the goal that they have to continue with in order to making sure that the sacred world and the sacred countries fall under their sole control, and that the monsters attacking the rest of the 4 nation hunters and keeping them occupied long enough will be quietly good enough distraction for the other ancient criminal organizations to begin with their long-term plans and goals that will successfully be bearing fruit. The Monster Queen completely agreed that she has come up with a very crafty plan in order to draw the attention of the 4 nation hunters away, that she can easily use it to her advantage. After that, another shadowy holographic figure appeared from the others and exactly told them that the plan has been put in place and that the implementation has been made. And now all they have to do is eliminate phase 2 to phase 1, as they all completely agreed on doing that as well. On the actual 29th of April, the Monster Queen was exactly meditating as she focused the powers of the dark crystals of the dark dimension to herself in order to actually grow more powerful and more strong, as she discovered that there were many multiple sources of wild energy and of dark energy and shadow energy that is quietly untapped and unreformed in its greatest, darkest, and dangerous form. And that she discovered the only way for her to access it was for her to go there herself, but it'll risk her exposure. And she discovered that it's not exactly worth exposing her existence, not just yet as well. On the actual 20th of May, the Monster Queen was able to exactly reconvene with the other mysterious group of powerful associates, shadowy associates, were also as well in a different holographic figure, and this time they were all exactly able to convene on a very powerful, sinister, dark cave that was quietly bearing the source of unlimited shadow energy in its darkest and purifying form. There was like a powerful pool of dark shadow energy that was quietly untapped and unreformed, as they all exactly began to agree that it's time for them to begin finalizing their final plans and taking control of the sacred galactic war. Now that the other sinister ancient organizations of supervillains, such as the Founders, the Order of the Five, and the Order of the Six, their plans had begun to exactly take a little bit of a halt due to the Universal Heroes' interference in trying to halt their process and their goal, which is quite good for them in order for them to focus on the next step of their plans and then the next step of their plans and of their goal. The Monster Queen completely agreed that it's time for her to unleash her creatures and her children against the 4 nation hunters. After all that, the other members began to agree on that, as they all exactly stated to the meeting that it has come adjourned, and they all completely disappeared through their holographic hologram. After May, the other members and the Monster Queen never spoke from June to July, and from August they actually kept their distances to themselves, focusing on their goals, while the Monster Queen focused solely in getting more stronger and more powerful as her shadowy angelic angelic wings of her shadow, as of a greater shadowy angelic wings of her angel wings began to grow more powerfully and more dangerously in the other side of the dark dimension, and her monsters and her creatures and beings also began to adapt and evolve highly frequently. She was very pleased with herself for 3 years, for 3 months, and for 3 months, that her power has begun to grossly adapt, and her magical powers and ability began to grossly adapt and frequently literally adapt completely. On the 26th of on the 26th of on the actual 26th of September, the Monster Queen was able to exactly meet up in a very different shadowy holographic figure with Lord Boy, who is the new Lord of Magic, the one that I previously taught you about, in this time in a very powerful, dark, magical crystal room, and with the other shadowy holographic figures and associates as well, as they all exactly began to decide in the final phase of the plan that it's time for them to actually get back to work and begin summoning the ones who need to be summoned. As they all agreed, the other associates agreed that one of them will have to begin conjuring the paragram to summon the ones that have to be summoned. One member exactly volunteered, and despite to that, Lord Boy exactly decided no, it'll be quite unwise to let him to use his power, since his power is quietly less powerful due to the other members of the secret group who are also more powerful. They decided that they'll rather assign the most powerful member of their own to begin the summoning partitioning spell to summon the others. He graciously exactly accepted the proposition, and he was graciously exactly accepted to be elected among the other members to continue summoning the powerful conjuring summoning spell and the rest of the other techniques to begin the final phase of the plan to make sure that things will go accordingly to plan. And the Monster Queen agreed that she'll exactly share her energy and her power to allow him to channel it in its various form, so he can begin exactly extracting all the energy and all the materials he needs from the other side. After that, they all exactly agreed, and they all exactly adjourned from that. On the actual 22 of October, the Monster Queen was able to exactly meet up with her children in the dark dimension very castle, where they were able to exactly speak about the plans and finalizing, and they were able to exactly tell her that everything else is set into motion, and now everything else can begin going to plan the way it was meant to be. After that, they all exactly successfully agreed. Due to that, one shadowy holographic figure appeared from the dark dimension and exactly introduced himself as the father of the children, stated to them that he's very quietly impressed with the results of how they grow up and how they manage to adapt fiercely, which means that it's time for them to begin their long-term goal and their future plans as well in the actual process. After that, they all mercilessly agreed on that, and they accepted the terms that it's time for them to actually move forward with the true plans of their goal, regardless of that. And they learned that the universal heroes and their abilities, they can never be underestimated, due to them learning it from the other mysterious associates and from their colleagues that who have actually faced their demise as well. Despite this, guys, the Monster Queen is a very powerful dark witch, and an ancient dark witch that has lived for many centuries and for many years throughout the sacred magic universe for many thousands of years. She was once a beautiful, very attractive fairy, very kind, very lovable, very optimistic, and very persuasive with everything else she was doing, and very determined with her research and with her goals to uncovering more secrets about life, powers, dark abilities, natures, immortalities, and long powers of dark magic. She was very optimistic. Due to her comrades knowing very well of her personality, she was very loving and very touching. They know her determination, and they knew her obsession with power and with darkness would actually drive her to a point to becoming a deadly, terrifying foe, and a deadly, ancient, terrifying foe, and a villain as well, of course. Due to this, she was able to keep her existence secretive from the rest of her people, due to her being the master and the queen of the monsters that she was able to control as well. And also she was able to facilitate He was also able to facilitate the monsters of the dark dimension from them entering the sacred world and a sacred universe for them to actually begin their attack and their begin besieging and attacking the Four Nation Hunters on their separate worlds front, on the respective worlds and planets and civilization, so they can begin laying waste towards humanity. Regardless of this, the Monster Queen is very ancient and very powerful, mythical. She was once a beautiful fairy composed of greater beautiful power, granted the power of pure light magic, where she can turn her whole body into a very bright light aura of light energy and magic. And she was only not the first one to actually achieve this power and this forbidden technique that she was able to discover. And due to her being remaining secretive and very, very highly working from the shadows, she was able to exactly acquire and attract many dangerous, sinister, powerful criminals and dangerous, sinister, elite, shadowy criminal organization such as Sinister Magic, the Order of the Five, Order of the Six, the Founders, the Galactic, and the Court of Nature, attracting their attention to her as well, and as well as attracting dangerous, sinister, powerful magic users or followers such as the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, and the Dark Faithful, and other powerful, sinister witches as well, who became to believe in her very existence as well. And due to her able to live in a dark dimension, she was able to solely rule it with an iron fist, commanding thousands of monsters under her control. And she was able to rule many other dark dimensions and placing them under her sole control, which makes her very powerful, literally extremely very powerful. She's very skilled fully in manipulation and in dark magic and in wild energy and also in wild energy and also in the power of manipulating shadow energy at will. She has the power of teleportation, the power of flight, the power of levitation, mind controlling, manipulation, and the power of long gravity, of immortality, the power of converging energy, and the power of synchronizing energy, and the power of infusing energy, the power of flight. Like I told you before, she has powerful, shadowy, angelic wings of angel wings, which grant her the power to fly, and the power of super stamina, super strength, super speed, and super strength, and telepathy and telepathic communication, and the power of creating a dark, shadowy, holographic hologram, and also the power of disappearing and reappearing at will, and the power of manipulating darkness and shadows at will as well, which is being able to be granted by due to her able to live longer in a dark dimension for many centuries and for many years as well. Due to this, she's very, very well curious and very well observant and very well intelligent and very well mysterious and very well powerful. She knows how to defeat her enemies, and she's been studying the Four Nation Hunters for many centuries and for many, many years. And due to her being able to live longer, understanding the Four Nation Hunters battle techniques and how they fight, she was able to exactly study them up close, and she was able to actually study them up close and know about them very much curiously. And due to this, she was able to gather many shadowy followers, many shadowy, powerful, sinister followers who was able to exactly believe in her goal and in her soul mission as well. She's very, very skillful in super strategist and in tactician in forming powerful, sinister, shadowy alliances with powerful, shadowy, ancient, sinister criminals and powerful, shadowy, ancient, sinister criminals and deadly, powerful supervillains, able to aiding them and abetting them with their long-term goals and mission. She's very well observant and very well good in preserving her infinite power. She possesses infinite dark power and dark greater abilities as well, which makes her extremely dangerous and very powerful. According to the other random evil Four Nation Hunters, the Monster Queen is one of the deadliest ancient powerful forces of evil and one of the deadliest members of the secret, shadowy criminal organization who is rumored to have possessed a greater power and a physical power, and due to her perseverance, she has managed to find a way to preserve her infinite power and her life force as well, as she can mysteriously heal. She's been granted the power of summoning and the power of creating dark magical orbs at will, and the power of creating dark magical orbs and the power of literally siphoning and absorbing energy and extracting energy at will as well. And due to this, he's very reluctant and very reluctant and very very persuasive, and very manipulative. She's very ambitious. She shares a dark desire and a dark ambition to conquer and rule the sacred countries of the sacred world and of the sacred magic universe and place them under her sole control. And she's willing to do whatever it takes, even forming powerful, shadowy alliances with actually dangerous, deadly, powerful, shadowy criminals and powerful, deadly, immortal criminals as well, and also with deadly witches as well. And due to her able to be keeping her existence as secretive, she was able to gather thousands of powerful, shadowy, mythical, dark followers of dark magical users who follow her and who literally believe in her. There were actually ancient mythical paintings of the dark monster queen in the ancient powerful dark temples and caves of the ancient powerful dark temples and caves that are quietly scattered in the sacred universe, which explain her history and her power and all of that as well. Just for you guys to actually know that, which the light warlocks and light druids know quietly about her as well, and they decided to keep her history very secretive. She learns the hard way that the universal heroes and the world heroes and the abilities in building operation and long-term plans can never be underestimated, as she's learned that they must be dealt in a very different way and in a very harder way as well. Well guys, that's it for today's episode. I'm very quietly sorry for the noise and the loud noise from the background, which I quietly exactly warned you about. Regardless of that guys, I'll actually see you tomorrow. Take care and have fun. I appreciate your support in liking and subscribing my episodes and my channels. Please continue to do so. May God bless you all and stay safe and stay happy. Totally grateful for your support guys. Literally totally grateful for your support. Please continue to do so. Take care and have a blessed, wonderful day. Bye. Bye. Bye.